guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another segment of Sleeve Sunday. Woo! So this has been week 4, or it'll officially be 4 weeks this coming Tuesday, but like a full week. You get what I'm saying? It probably would have been better to have this weekly segment like on the actual day I had the surgery, but tell me Tuesday, I didn't like the sound of that. Sleeve Sunday sounds better. But anyway, so this was week 4 after my surgery. I can't believe that it'll have been a month since my surgery this coming Tuesday. Like, holy crap. Where did the past 4 weeks go? So Sleeve Sundays might start getting a little shorter since my body is actually acclimating better now to everything that's going on with it. I'm able to eat more things, I'm able to do more things, so I'm not going to say each week, oh, well, I can tolerate da-da-da now, or whatever, unless that's helpful to people. I don't really know, like, I kind of feel like my stomach did pretty good from the get-go. The only thing it still can't do are those damn chocolate protein shakes, and I honestly don't know if it's just, like, the cocoa in it. That's what my mom was suggesting. So I don't know if maybe my stomach is just sensitive right now to cocoa, because it can do all the other flavors. For those that don't know, I stick primarily with Premier Protein just because they have a much higher protein content in their shakes, and I also think they taste really good. Before surgery, I loved the chocolate, but now after the surgery, I still like the taste of the chocolate, but the Tum Tum does not like it. And so what the Tum Tum says goes, not so much what Gretchen says. Tum Tum has personality of her own. I still need to make a name for her because she is definitely opinionated about things. But yeah, I can do the vanilla ones, no problem. The strawberry and cream one. She sometimes gets a little picky about the banana one. The banana one has to be cold, otherwise she doesn't like it. But the vanilla and strawberry one, it can be, you know, room temperature or cold, and she likes it. Isn't that right? You like that, don't you? Yeah, you do. Alright, so for this past week, I did start going back to work full days. Haven't had a problem with that. I don't get exhausted anymore like I was. I chalk that up to actually being able to eat now. I'm still noticing a lot of restriction on what I'm able to ingest. Even though I hit kind of a weight stall at the first half of this week, I noticed a great drop toward the second half of this week. I actually hit a really big milestone this past week. When I hit it, I wasn't sure I wanted to mention it, because then it would be more real about where I was, weight-wise, when I started and everything. But you know what? Screw it. The whole point of making these videos is to put myself out there, and if I don't say it this segment, you know, am I going to be able to say it in the future and be like, oh, well, at week 4, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm just going to come out and say it. This past week, I finally got back into the 100s. That's right. I was in the 200s up until this past week. I didn't really tell many people that I got back into the 100s because I was embarrassed being in the 200s. I don't know. It is an embarrassing thing, especially when I think about where I was at one point in my life. I was 142, I believe, was my lowest. And that was when I was in college. I believe I was a freshman. And so it's embarrassing to know that I went from 142 to 235, which was my heaviest. 235 was what I was before I started the pre-op diet. But I think about that now. That was 6 weeks ago, and I went from 235 to now 197. And I am super proud of that. And I was embarrassed at first. I discussed it with my mom and my best friend, and they knew, and so supportive. But you know what? The whole point of this is to put myself out there and help someone else, possibly. And even if I only help one person through my videos, that's good enough for me. So, yeah, I've gotten back into the 100s. So it is possible. I didn't think it would be because the stall earlier this week, I was sitting there going like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like ingesting 3 ounces of food at a time, and it was like basically tuna fish. Like, are you kidding me? And then all of a sudden it was just like, bye. I was like, okay, good. Get out of here. I don't want you. So since the start of my pre-op diet, which is what I'm gonna go by from now on. So when I say I've lost da-da-da, I'm not gonna say I've lost da-da-da since surgery. I'm gonna say I've lost da-da-da since my highest weight. That's, yeah, it makes it sound like I've lost more, which I have, but I don't know, I like that concept better. So since my highest weight, I've lost almost 40 pounds. Like, that is insane. I'm at 38 pounds lost. That's remarkable. I am so flippin' proud of myself. So yeah, that's the big news for this week, is that I'm back in the 100s. Some other things this week. My incision around my belly button still hurts, but only if I like accidentally hit it or something. It just, like right now, doesn't hurt at all. Can hardly tell. I've been using bio oil. I think I mentioned that last time. Bio oil to help like reduce the image of the scars. And it's really helping. Let's see. Still can't take my multivitamin. I have my 4-week post-op appointment tomorrow, so I'll be meeting with my nurse practitioner, and I'll probably bring up the fact that, these multivitamins ain't cutting it. Food or no food in my system at the time. It ain't working. So I haven't been able to take like any pills this past week just because I'm terrified I'm gonna throw them up, 30 seconds after I ingest them. So I'll be talking with her about that. Another thing I'll be talking with my nurse practitioner about is birth control options. Woo! Everyone's favorite topic, right? I went for my annual, lady parts appointment this past week, and I was talking with her. I was saying, oh, well, I'm thinking about getting the implant because apparently the pills don't work after surgery and da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, well, I've only heard that with bypass. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get bypass because there's something about the absorption. It doesn't absorb properly if you take the pills. So I was looking at the implant, but now that I possibly could just continue the pills that I was taking, I don't know if I want to get the implant. I don't know, just the idea of something foreign in my arm kind of freaks me out. So I do talk with my nurse practitioner tomorrow, and I'm going to get her thoughts. Should I go with the implant? Should I stick with the pills? Should I not do anything for a while to give my body a break? What? Especially since the pills problem seems to only be related to bypass patients instead of sleep patients. So I'm actually gonna have questions for once. Whenever I go to the doctors, they're always like, do you have any questions for me? And I'm like, no, not really. I'm actually gonna have questions this time. My gynecologist suggested that, if I'm more comfortable sticking with what I've been doing, then that should be perfectly fine. But if I, want to try something new, then the Nexplanon is the way to go. So we'll see. We'll see what my nurse practitioner suggests, and then I'll take those 2 responses and combine them and go with their opinions because they are the experts. I am not. So we'll see. This past week, I guess because I've been dropping so much weight, I have noticed that my clothes are fitting better, and I am going down sizes. My highest size no longer fits. None of it fits. It is the most wonderful thing ever, but then it also terrifies me because I'm like, crap, I don't have money to go out and buy new clothes. Like, crap. crap, now I just have to sit around walking with these baggy pants because I can't afford anything else. But I'm at least noticing that some clothes that had gotten a little snug are actually feeling comfortable now. Some of them even loose. So I am all about that. There's really not much else to talk about. You know, getting back into the 100s and the birth control were the two big things this past week. The only food that I find I don't get too much of a restriction on, except for last night apparently, is tuna fish. You know, like out of the pouches. That's the only thing that I have found that I don't feel super restricted with. Now, it does take me like over an hour to finish one of those single pouches. But that's basically the only thing that hasn't been restricted by my stomach. Now, last night I fixed some tuna fish and I could hardly eat it. I hardly ate or drank anything yesterday. My stomach just was not having it, and I never felt hungry, I never felt thirsty, and I know I have to really be careful about becoming dehydrated, but yesterday I think I maybe got down like 22 ounces when I need 48 at the minimum. So yesterday wasn't exactly a good day for food and water, but these things happen, these days happen, so you just move on. Chugga chugga choo choo. Gotta love living in a train town. Alright, that is it for this Sleeve Sunday. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you don't like this video, why are you here? Just wondering. Anyway, that does it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.